Good wishes to all of you. I am here with a very good book, Education for Character, Swami Vivekananda audiobook. Self confidence. He is an atheist who does not believe in himself. The old religion said that he was an atheist who did not believe in God. The new religion says that he is the atheist who does not believe in himself. The ideal of faith in ourselves is of the greatest help to us. Faith in ourselves. Faith in God. This is the secret of greatness. If you have faith in all the 330 millions of your mythological gods and in all the gods which foreigners have now and again introduced into your midst, and still have no faith in yourselves, there is no salvation for you. The older I grow, the more everything seems to me to lie in manliness. This is my new gospel. What makes the difference between man and man is the difference in the Shraddha, nothing else. What makes one man great and another weak and low is this Shraddha. You have in you 1,000 times more than is in all the books. Never lose faith in yourself. You can do anything in this universe. Never weaken. All power is yours. You must not say that you are weak. How do you know what possibilities lie behind that degradation on the surface? You know but little of that which is within you. For behind you is the ocean of infinite power and blessedness. To succeed, you must have tremendous perseverance, tremendous will. I will drink the ocean, says the preserving soul. At my will, mountains will crumble up. Have that sort of energy, that sort of will. Work hard and you will reach the goal. Strength is life. Brave, bold man, these are what we want. What we want is vigor in the blood, strength in the nerves, iron muscles, and nerves of steel, not softening namby pamby ideas. Avoid all mystery. There is no mystery in religion. Mystery, mongering, and superstition are always signs of weakness. Your country requires heroes. Be heroes. We have wept long enough, no more weeping, but stand on your feet and be men. It is a man making a religion that we want. It is man making theories that we want. It is man making education all round that we want. And here is the test of truth. Anything that makes you weak physically, intellectually, and spiritually, reject as poison. There is no life in it. It cannot be true. Truth is strengthening. Truth is purity. Truth is all knowledge. My child, what I want is muscles of iron and nerves of steel, inside which dwells a mind of the same material as that of which the thunderbolt is made. Strength, manhood, kshatra, virya plus Brahma minus Teja. Strength is life, weakness is death. Strength is felicity, life eternal, immortal. Weakness is constant strain and misery. Weakness is death. Be fearless. Be not afraid of anything. You will do marvelous work. The moment you fear, you are nobody. It is fear that is the great cause of misery in the world. It is fear that is the greatest of all superstitions. It is fear that is the cause of our woes, and it is fearlessness that brings heaven even in a moment. Therefore, arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. One man does not resist because he is weak, lazy, and cannot, not because he will not. The other man knows that he can strike an irresistible blow if he likes. Yet he not only does not strike, but blesses his enemies. The one who from weakness resists not commits a sin, and as such cannot receive any benefit from the non resistance, while the other would commit a sign by offering resistance. The earth is enjoyed by heroes. This is the unfailing truth. Be a hero. Always say, I have no fear. Tell this to everybody. Have no fear. Fear is death. Fear is sin. Fear is hell. Fear is unrightness. Fear is wrong life. All the negative thoughts and ideas that are in this world have proceeded from this evil spirit of fear. What fear if you die in the attempt to realize the self? Man is not afraid of dying for the sake of learning and many other things. And why should you fear to die for religion? What makes a man stand up and work? Strength. Strength is goodness. Weakness is sin. If there is one word that you find coming out like a bomb from the Upanishads, bursting like a bombshell upon masses of ignorance, it is the word fearlessness, and the only religion that ought to be taught is the religion of fearlessness. It is fear that brings misery, fear that brings death, fear that breeds evil, and what causes fear? Ignorance of our real nature. Others, in this world, we work through fear of others. We talk through fear. We think through fear. Alas, we are born in a land of enemies. Who is there who has been able to get rid of these feelings of fear? As if everyone is a spy set specially to watch him. And why? And to the man who pushes himself forward. Will it ever be a land of friends? Who knows? We can only try. Strength of character. Neither money pays, nor name, nor fame, nor learning. It is character that can cleave through adamantine walls of difficulties. If you really want to judge of the character of a man, look not at his great performances. Every fool may become a hero at one time or another. Watch a man do his most common actions. Those are indeed the things which will tell you the real character of a great man. Every work that we do, every movement of the body, every thought that we think leaves an impression on the mind stuff, and even when such impressions are not obvious on the surface, they are sufficiently strong to work beneath the surface, subconsciously. What we are every moment is determined by the sum total of these impressions on the mind. This is really what is meant by character. Each man's character is determined by the sum total of these impressions. If good impressions prevail, the character becomes good. If bad, it becomes bad. If a man continuously hears bad words, thinks bad thoughts, does bad actions, his mind will be full of bad impressions, and they will influence his thought and work without his being conscious of the fact. He will be like a machine in the hands of this impression, and they will force him to do evil, and that man will be a bad man. He cannot help it. Similarly, if a man thinks good thoughts and does good works, the sum total of these impressions will be good, and they, in a similar manner, will force him to do good, even in spite of himself. When such is the case, a man's good character is said to be established. The miseries of the world cannot be cured by physical help only. Until man's character changes, these physical needs will always arise and miseries will always be felt. And no amount of physical help will cure them completely. The only solution of this problem is to make mankind pure. Ignorance is the mother of all the evil and all the misery we see. Let men have light, let men let them be pure and spiritually strong and educated. Then alone will misery cease in the world, not before. We may convert every house in the country into a charity asylum. We may fill the land with hospitals, but the misery of man will still continue to exist until man's character changes. Truth does not pay homage to any society, ancient or modern. Society has to pay homage to truth or die. Society should be molded upon truth, and truth has not to adjust itself to society. That society is the greatest, where the highest truths become practical. That is my opinion. And if society is not fit for the highest truths, make it so, and the sooner the better. It is in the nature of things that many should fall, that trouble should come, that tremendous difficulty should arise, that selfishness and all the other devils in the human heart should struggle hard. When they are about to be driven out by the fire of spirituality, the road to the good is the roughest and steepest in the universe. It is a wonder that so many succeed, no wonder that so many fall. Character has to be established through a thousand stumbles. The only remedy for bad habits is counter habits. All the bad habits that have left their impressions are to be controlled by good habits. Go on doing good, thinking holy thoughts continuously. That is the only way to suppress base impressions. Never say any man is hopeless, because he only represents a character, a bundle of habits, which can be checked by new and better ones. Character is repeated habits, and repeated habits alone can reform character. Self responsibility. We are responsible for what we are and whatever we wish ourselves to be. We have the power to make ourselves. If what we are now has been the result of our own past actions, it certainly follows that whatever we wish to be in future can be produced by our present actions. So we have to know how to act. Men in general lay all the blame of life on their fellow men, or failing that on God, or they conjure up a ghost and say it is fate. Where is fate and who is fate? We reap what we sow. We are the makers of our own fate. None else has the blame, none has the praise. For every weakening thought you have put into anybody's head, you will have to pay with compound interest. See, this misery that I am suffering is of my own doing, and that very thing it proves that it will have to be undone by me alone. That which I created, I can demolish. That which is created by someone else, I shall never be able to destroy. Therefore, stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders, and know that you are the creator of your own destiny. No one can get anything unless he earns it. This is an eternal law. We may sometimes think it is not so, but in the long run we become convinced of it. A man may struggle all his life for riches. He may cheat thousands, but he finds at last that he did not deserve to become rich, and his life becomes a trouble and a nuisance to him. We may go on accumulating things for our physical enjoyment, but only what we earn is really ours. A fool may buy all the books in the world, and they will be in his library, but he will be able to read only those that he deserves to, and this deserving is produced by karma. It is the coward and the fool who says, "This is fate," so says the Sanskrit proverb. This, but it is the strong man who stands up and says, "I will make my fate." It is people who are getting old who talk of fate. Young men generally do not come to astrology. Truth, purity, and unselfishness, wherever these are present, there is no power below or above the sun to crush the possessor thereof. Equipped with these, one individual is able to face the whole universe in opposition. Nothing makes us work so well at our best and highest as when all the responsibility is thrown upon ourselves. I challenge every one of you. If the whole responsibility is thrown upon our own shoulders, we shall be at our highest and best. When we have nobody to grope towards, no devil to lay our blame upon, no personal God to carry our burdens. When we are alone responsible, then we shall rise to our highest and best. I am responsible for my fate. I am the bringer of good upon myself. I am the bringer of evil. Positive thinking. If you speak kind words to boys and encourage them, they are bound to improve in time. If If you can give them positive ideas, people will grow up to be men and learn to stand on their own legs. In language and literature, in poetry and the arts, in everything, we must point out not the mistakes that people are making in their thoughts and actions, but the way in which they will gradually be able to do these things better. Pointing out mistakes wounds a man's feeling. All the strength and succor you want is within yourselves. Therefore, make your own future. Let the dead past bury its dead. The infinite future is before you, and you must always remember that each word, though, and deed lays up a stair for you, and that as the bad thoughts and bad works are ready to spring upon you like tigers, so also there is the inspring hope that the good thoughts and good deeds are ready with the power of 100,000 angels to defend you always and forever. Never mind failures. They are quite natural. They are the beauty of life, these failures. What would life be without them? I never heard a cow tell a lie, but it is only a cow, never a man. So never mind these failures, these little backslidings. Hold the idol 1,000 times, and if you fail 1,000 times, make the attempt once more. The idol of man is to see God in everything. Men are taught from childhood that they are weakened sinners. Teach them that they are all glorious children of immorality, even those who are the weakest in manifestation. Let positive, strong, helpful thought enter into their brains from every childhood. You must not say that you are weak. How do you know what possibilities lie behind the degradation on the surface? You know but little of that which is within you. For behind you is the ocean of infinite power and blessedness. Whatever you think, that you will be. If you think yourselves weak, weak you will be. If you think yourselves strong, strong you will be. We are to take care of ourselves that much we can do and give up attending to others for a time. Let us perfect the means, the end will take care of itself. For the world can be good and pure. Only if our lives are good and pure, it is an effect, and we are the means. Therefore, let us purify ourselves. Let us make ourselves perfect. Control of the mind. The powers of the mind are like rays of light dissipated. When they are concentrated, they illumine. This is our only means of knowledge. The man that has practiced control over himself cannot be acted upon by anything outside. There is no more slavery for him. His mind has become free. Such a man alone is fit to live well in the world. From our childhood upwards, we have been taught only to pay attention to things external, but never to things internal. Hence, most of us have nearly lost the faculty of observing the internal mechanism to turn the mind, as it were, inside, stop it from going outside, and then to concentrate all its powers and throw them upon the mind itself, in order that it may know its own nature, analysis itself is very hard work. Yet that is the only way to anything which will be a scientific approach to the subject. Be here, be good, and be good, and be good. Taught all over the world. There is hardly a child born in any country in the world who has not been told, do not steal, do not tell a lie. But nobody tells the child how he can help doing them. Talking with talking will not help him. Why should he not become a thief? We do not teach him how not to steal. We simply tell him, do not steal. Only when we teach him to control his mind do we really help him. All actions, internal and external, occur when the mind joins itself to certain centers, called the organs. Willingly or unwillingly, it is drawn to join itself to the centers. And that is why people do foolish deeds and feel miserable, which, If the mind were under control, they would not do. What could be the result of controlling the mind? It then would not join itself to the centers of perception, and naturally, feeling and willing would be under control. Nature wants us to react, to return blow for blow, cheating for cheating, lie for lie, to hit back with all our might. Then it requires a super divine power not to hit back, to keep control, to be unattached. How hard it is to control the mind? Well, has it been compared to the mad monkey? There was a monkey, restless by his own nature, as all monkeys are. As if that were not enough, someone made him drink freely of wine, so that he became still more restless. Then a scorpion stung him. When a man is stung by a scorpion, he jumps about for a whole day. So the poor monkey found his condition worse than ever. To complete his misery, a demon entered into him. What language can describe the uncontrollable restlessness of that monkey? The human mind is like that monkey, insistently active by its own nature. Then it becomes drunk with the wine of desire, thus increasing its turbulence. After desire takes possession comes the sting of the scorpion of jealousy at the success of others, and last of all, the de- de- demon of pride enters the mind, making it think itself of all importance. How hard to control such a mind! The first lesson, then, is to sit for some time and let the mind run on. The mind is bubbling up all the time. It is like that monkey jumping about. Let the monkey jump as much as he can. You simply wait and watch. Knowledge is power, says the proverb. And that is true. Until you know what the mind is doing, you cannot control it. Give it the rein. Many hideous thoughts may come into it. You will be astonished that it was possible for you to think such thoughts. But you will find that each day the mind's vagaries are becoming less and less violent. That that each day it is becoming calmer. In the first few months, you will find that the mind will have a great many thoughts. Later, you will find that they have somewhat decreased, and in a few more months, they will be fewer and fewer, until at last the mind will be under perfect control. But we must patiently practice every day. If the mind is not under control, it is no use living in a cave because the same mind will bring all disturbances there. If the mind is under control, we can have the cave anywhere, wherever we are. It is very hard thing to understand, but you will come to learn in time that nothing in the universe has power over you until you allow it to exercise such a power. Nothing has power over the self of man until the self becomes a fool and loses independence. So, by non attachment, you overcome and deny the power of anything to act upon you. It is very easy to say that nothing has a right to act upon you until you allow it to do so. But what is the true sign of the man who really does not allow anything to work upon him, who is neither happy nor unhappy when acted upon by the external world? The sign is that good or ill fortune causes no change in his mind. In all conditions, he continues to remain the same. The man who has control over his own mind assuredly will have control over every other mind. That is why purity and morality have been always the object of religion. A pure, moral man has control of himself. He who knows and controls his own mind knows the secret of every mind and has power over every mind. Power of concentration. Take up one idea. Make that one idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea and just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success, and this is the way great spiritual gains are produced. others are mere talking machines. Concentration means intensifying the power of assimilation. Here is the difference between man and the animals. Man has the great power of concentration. The difference in their power of concentration also constitutes the difference between man and man. Compare the lowest with the highest man. The difference is in the degree of concentration. This is the only difference. What is the result of constant practice of higher concentration? All old tendencies of restlessness and dullness will be destroyed. All knowledge that the world has ever received comes from the mind. The infinite library of the universe is in your own mind. The external world is simply the suggestion, the occasion, which sets you to study your own mind. But the object of your study is always your own mind. The falling of an apple gave the suggestion to Newton, and he studied his own mind. He rearranged all the previous links of thoughts in his mind and discovered a new link among them, which we call the law of gravitation. It was not in the apple nor in anything in the center of earth. How has all the knowledge in the world been gained but by the concentration of the powers of the mind? The world is really to give up its secrets if we only know how to knock, how to give it the necessary blow. The strength and force of the blow become through concentration. There is no limit to the power of the human mind. The more concentrated it is, the more power is brought to bear on one point, that is the secret. In making money, or in wo- worshipping God, or in doing anything, the stronger the power of concentration, the better will that thing be done. This is the one call, the one knock which opens the gates of nature and let out floods of light. This, the power of concentration, is the only key to the treasure house of knowledge. Concentration will bring perfect repose to mind and body every time it is practiced. Concentration of the powers of the mind is our only instrument to help us see God. If you know one soul, your own, you know all souls, past, present, and to come. The will concentrates the mind. Certain things excite and control this will, such as reason, love, devotion, breathing. The concentrated mind is a lamp that shows us every corner of the soul. Power of thought. The highest men are calm, silent, and unknown. They are the men who really know the power of thought. They are sure that even if they go into a cave and close the door and simply think five true thoughts and then pass away, these five thoughts of theirs will live through eternity. Indeed, such thoughts will penetrate through the mountains, cross the oceans, and travel through the world. It is thought which is the propelling force in us. Fill the mind with the highest thoughts. Hear them day after day. Think them month after month. Never mind failures. They are quite natural. They are the beauty of life. These failures. What would life be without them? It would not be worth having if it were not for struggles. Where would be the poetry of life? Never mind the struggles, the mistakes. We are what our thoughts have made us, so take care of what you think. Words are secondary, thoughts live, they travel far. Each thought we think is tingled with our own character, so that for the pure and holy man, even his jests or abuse will have the twist of his own love and purity and do good. Each thought is a little hammer blow on the lump of iron which our bodies are manufacturing out of it what we want it to be. The word and the thought are inseparable. The external part of one and the same thing is what we call word, and the internal part is what we call thought. Evil thoughts, looked at materially, are the disease bacilli, Every thought projected from every brain goes on, pulsating as it were, until it meets a fit object that will receive it. Every vicious thought will rebound. Every thought of hatred which you may have thought in a cave even is stored up and will one day come back to you with a tremendous power in the forms of some mystery here. If you project hatred and jealousy, they will rebound on you with compound interest. No power can avert them. When once you have put them in motion, you will have to bear them. Remembering this will prevent you from doing wicked things. Liberty of thought and action is the only condition of life, of growth and well being. Where it does not exist, the man, the race, the nation must go down. Whatever you do, think well on it. All your actions will be magnified, transformed, defied by the very power of the thought. It matter is powerful. Thought is omnipotent. The great sexual force raised from animal action and sent upward to the great dynamo of the human system, the brain and there stored up becomes ojas or spiritual force. All good thought, all prayer resolves a part of that animal energy into ojas and helps to give us spiritual power. This ojas is the real man, and in human beings alone is it possible for this storage of ojas to be accomplished. One in whom the whole animal sex force has been transformed into ojas is a god. He speaks with power, and his words regenerate the world. In my first speech in this country, in Chicago, I addressed that audience as sisters and brothers of America. And you know that they all rose to their feet. You may wonder what made them do this. You may wonder if I had some strange power. Let me tell you that I did have a power, and this is it. Never once in my life did I allow myself to have even one sexual thought. I trained my mind, my thinking, and the powers that man usually uses along that line. I put into a higher channel, and it developed a force so strong that nothing could resist it. There is a great tendency in modern times to talk too much of work and decry thought. Doing is very good, but that comes from thinking. Little manifestations of energy through the muscles are called work. But where there is no thought, there will be no work. Fill the brain. Therefore, with the high thoughts, highest ideals, place them day and night before you. And out of that will come great work. Talk not about impurity, but say that we are pure. Art of meditation. The greatest help to spiritual life is meditation, dhyan. In meditation, we divest ourselves of all material conditions and feel our divine nature. We do not depend upon any external help in meditation. The touch of the soul can paint the brightest color, even in the dingiest places. It can cast a fragrance over the vilest thing. It can make the wicked divine and all enmity. All selfishness is effaced. The less the thought of the body, the better. For it is the body that drags us down. It is attachment, identification which makes us miserable. Meditation is one of the great means of controlling the rising of these waves. By meditation, you can make the mind subdue these waves, and if you go on practicing meditation for days and months and years until it has become a habit, until it will come in spite of yourself, anger and hatred will be controlled and checked. Think and meditate that you are the omnipresent Atman. I am neither the body nor the mind nor the buddhi, determinative faculty, neither the gross nor the subtle body. By this process of elimination, immerse your mind in the transcendent knowledge which is your nature. Kill the mind by thus plunging it repeatedly in this. Then only you will realize the essence of intelligence or be established in your real nature. That which is nearest is least observed. The Atman is the nearest of the near. Therefore, the careless and unsteady mind of man gets no clue to it. But the man who is alert, calm, self restrained, and discriminating ignores the external world and divining more and more into the inner world, realizes the glory of the Atman and becomes great. Then only he attains to the knowledge of the Atman and realizes the truth of such scriptural texts as I am the Atman. Thou art that, O Shvetaketu, and so on. Do you understand? Meditation is the focusing of the mind on some object. If the mind acquires concentration on one object, it can be so concentrated on any object whatsoever. The greatest thing is meditation. It is the nearest approach to spiritual life, the mind meditating. It is the one moment in our daily life that we are not at all material, the soul thinking of itself, free from all matter, this marvelous touch of the soul. Do not spend your energy in talking but meditate in silence and do not let the rush of the outside world disturb you. When your mind is in the highest state, you are unconscious of it. Accumulate power in silence and become a dynamo of spirituality. Think of a space in your heart, and in the midst of that space, think that a flame is burning. Think of that flame as your own soul, and inside the flame is another effulgent light, and that is the soul of your soul, God. Meditate upon that in the heart. Within there is the line, the eternally pure, illuminated, and ever free Atman, and directly one realizes him through meditation and concentration, this world of Maya vanishes. There is the infinite joy, unchanging. Meditation is the gate that opens the doors, prayers, ceremonials, and all the other forms of worship are simply kindergar- kindergartens of meditation. Practice hard. Whether you live or die does not matter. You have to plunge in and work without thinking of the result. If you are brave enough, in 6 months you will be a perfect yogi. Meditation again is a constant remembrance of the thing meditated upon, flowing like an unbroken stream of oil poured out from one vessel to another. When this kind of remembering has been attained in relation to God, all bondages break. Manifest your divinity. Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within by controlling nature, external and internal. Do this either by work or worship or physic control or philosophy, by one or more or all of these, and be free. This is the whole of religion. Doctrines or dogmas or rituals or books or temples or forms are but secondary details. Teach yourselves, teach everyone. His real nature, call upon the sleeping soul and see how it awakes. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, purity will come, and everything that is excellent will come. When the sleeping soul is roused to self conscious activity, all power is within you. You can do anything and everything. Believe in that. Do not believe that you are weak. Stand up and express the divinity within you. Ye are the children of God, the sharers of immortal bliss, holy and perfect beings. Ye divinities on earth, sinners, it is a sign to call a man so. It is a standing libel on human nature. Come up, O lions, and shake off the delusion that you are sheep. You are souls immortal, spirit free, blessed and eternal. Ye are not matter, ye are not bodies. Matter is your servant, not you the servant of matter. Manifest the divinity within you, and everything will be harmoniously arranged around it. The infinite power of the Spirit, brought to bear upon matter, evolves material development, made to act upon thought, evolves intellectuality, and made to act upon itself makes of man a god. My ideal indeed can be put into a few words, and that is to preach unto mankind the divinity, and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. If the fisherman thinks that he is the spirit, he will be a better fisherman. If the student thinks he is the spirit, he will be a better student. If the lawyer thinks that he is the spirit, he will be a better lawyer. First, let us be gods, and then help others to be gods. Be and make. Let this be our motto. Say not man is a sinner. Tell him that he is a god, even if there were a devil. It would be our duty to remember God always and not the devil. Have faith in man, whether he appears to you to be a very learned one or a most ignorant one. Have faith in man, whether he appears to be an angel or the very devil himself. Have faith in man first, and then, having faith in him, believe that if there are defects in him, if he makes mistakes, if he embraces the crudest and the vilest doctrines, believe that it is not from his real nature that they come, but from the want of higher idols. You give him the truth, and there your work is done. Let him compare it in his own mind with what he has already in him. And mark my words, if you have really given him the truth, the false must vanish, light must dispel darkness, and truth will bring the good out. Put the good before them. See how eagerly they take it. See how the divine that now never dies, that is always living in the human, comes up awakened and stretches out its hand for all that is good and all that is glorious. See what the Triant hand is on your neck. I am the witness. I am the witness. Say, I am the spirit. Nothing external can touch me. When evil thoughts arise, repeat that, give that sledge hammer blow on their heads. I am the spirit. I am the witness. The ever blessed. I have no reason to do, no reason to suffer. I have finished with everything. I am the witness. True education. Education is the manifestation of the perfection already in man. What is education? Is it book learning? No. Is it diverse knowledge? Not even that. The training by which the current and expression of will are brought under control and become fruitful is called education. To me, the very essence of education is concentration of mind, not the collecting of facts. If I had to do my education over again and had any voice in the matter, I would not study facts at all. I would develop the power of concentration and detachment, and then, with a perfect instrument, I could collect facts at all or at will. The world can be good and pure only if our lives are good and pure. It is an effect, and we are the means. Therefore, let us purify ourselves. Let us make ourselves perfect. Well, you consider a man as educated if only he can pass some examinations and deliver good lectures. The education which does not help the common mass of people to equip themselves for the struggle for life, which does not bring out a strength of character, a spirit of philanthropy, and the courage of a life. Is it worth the name? Real education is that which enables one to stand on one's own legs. The education that you are receiving now in schools and colleges only making you a race of dyspeptics. You're working like machines merely and living a jellyfish existence. Education is not the amount of information that is put into your brain and runs right there, undigested, all your life. We must have life building, man making, character making, assimilation of ideas. If you have assimilated five ideas and made them your life and character, You have more education than any man who has got by heart a whole library. Do you not find in history that the first death sign of a nation has been unchastity? When that wars enter, the end of the race is in sight. We want that education by which character is formed, strength of mind is increased, the intellectual is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. Bring light to the poor, and bring more light to the rich, for they require it more than the poor. Bring light to the ignorant, and more light to the educated, for the vanities of the education of our time are tremendous. What we want are Western science coupled with Vedanta, Brahmacharya as the guiding motto, and also Shraddha and faith in one's own self. Do you see, simply by the observance of strict Brahmacharya, continents, our learning can be mastered in a very short time. One has an unfailing memory of what one hears or knows but once. It is owing to this want of continence that everything is on the brink of ruin in our country. True worship. The only God to worship is the human soul in the human body. Of course, all animals are temples too. But man is the highest, the Taj Mahal of temples. If I cannot worship in that, no other temple will be of any advantage. We are the servants of that God who, by the ignorant, is called man. This is the gist of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. He who sees Shiva in the poor, in the weak, and in the diseased really worships Shiva, and if he sees Shiva only in the image, his worship is but preliminary. If the Lord grants that you can help any one of his children, blessed you are. Do not think too much of yourselves. Blessed you are that that privilege was given to you when others had it not. Do it only as a worship. May I be born again and again and suffer thousands of miseries, so that I may worship the only God that exists, the only God I believe in, the sum total of all souls, and above all, my God the wicked, my God the miserable, my God the poor of all races, of all species, is the special object of my worship. After so much austerity, I have understood this as the real truth. God is present in every jiva. There is no other God besides that. Who serves jiva serves God indeed. You must give your body, mind, and speech to the welfare of the world. You have read Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava. Look upon your mothers as God. Look upon your father as God. But I say, Daridra Devo Bhava, Murka Devo Bhava. The poor, the illiterate, the ignorant, the afflicted, let these be your God. Know that service to these alone is the highest religion. The fool, dwelling on the bank of the Ganga, digs a well for water. Such are we, living in the midst of God. We must go and make images. We protect Him in the form of the image, while all the time He exists in the temple of our body. We are lunatics, and this is a great delusion. Worship everything as God, every form is a temple, all else is delusion. We think that we have helped some man and accept him to thank us, and because he does not, unhappiness comes to us. Why should we expect anything in return for what we do? Be grateful to the man you help. Think of him as God. Is it not a great privilege to be allowed to worship God by helping our fellow men? Let me tell you again that you must be pure and help anyone who comes to you, as much as lies in your power. And this is good karma. By the power of this, the heart becomes pure, Chitta Shuddhi, and then Shiva, who is residing in everyone, will become manifest. Let some of you spread like fire and preach this worship of the universal aspect of the Godhead, a thing that was never undertaken before in our country. No quarreling with people, we must be friends with all. Spread ideas, go from village to village, from door to door, then only there will be real work. Otherwise, lying complacently on the bed and ringing the bell now and then is a sort of disease. Secret of work. This life is short. The vanities of the world are transient, but they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. Blessed are they whose bodies get destroyed in the service of others. Him I call a Mahatman, great soul, whose heart bleeds for the poor. Otherwise, he is a Duratman, wicked soul. Even the least work done for others awakens the power within. Even thinking the least good of others gradually instills into the heart the strength of a lion. I love you all ever so much, but I wish you all to die working for others. I should rather be glad to see you do that. Inactivity should be avoided by all means. Activity always means resistance. Resist all evils, mental and physical. And when you have succeeded in resisting, then will calmness come. It is the level headed man, the calm man, of good judgment and cool nerves, of great sympathy and love, who does good work and so does good to himself. This word is not for our sake. Millions pass out of it every year. The world does not feel it. Millions of others are supplied in their place just as much as the world is for us. So we also are for the world. Pay as much attention to means as to the end. Karma Yoga is the attaining through unselfish work of that freedom which is the goal of all human nature. Every selfish action, therefore, retards our reaching the goal, and every unselfish action takes us towards the goal. That is why the only definition that can be given of morality is this: that which is selfish is immoral, and that which is unselfish is moral. Any action that makes us to go Godward is a good action and is our duty. Any action that makes us go downward is evil and is not our duty. Every good work we do without any ulterior motive instead of forging, forging a new chain will break one of the links in the existing chains. Every good thought that we send to the world without thinking of any return will be stored up there and break one link in the chain and make us purer and purer until we become the purest of mortals. By means of the constant effort to do good to others, we are trying to forget ourselves. This forgetfulness of self is the one great lesson we have to learn in life. Three things are necessary to make every man great, every nation great: conviction of the powers of goodness, absence of jealousy and suspicion, helping all who are trying to be and do good. Competition roses envy and it kills the kindliness of the heart. To the grumbler, all duties are distasteful. Nothing will ever satisfy him, and his whole life is doomed to prove a failure. Karma Yoga means, even at the point of death, to help anyone without asking questions. Be cheated millions of times and never ask a question. And never think of what you are doing. Never want of your gifts to the poor or expect their gratitude, but rather be grateful to them for giving you the occasion of practicing charity to them. Are you unselfish? That is the question. If you are, you will be perfect without reading a single religious book, without going into a single church or temple. Mystery comes through attachment, not through work. As soon as we identify ourselves with the work we do, we feel miserable. But if we do not identify ourselves with it, we do not feel that misery. You should work like a master and not as a slave. Work insistently but do not do slave's work. Expansion is life, contraction is death, love is life, and hatred is death. Ask anything, ask nothing, want nothing in return. Give what you have to give. It will come back to you, but do not think of that now. It will come back multiplied a thousandfold, but the attention must not be on that. Yet have the power to give, give, and there it ends. Ask, therefore, nothing in return. But the more you give, the more will come to you. The quicker you can empty the air out of this room, the quicker it will be filled up by the external air. The tapas and the other hard yogas that were practiced in other yugas do not work now. What is needed in these yugas is giving, helping others. What is meant by dana? The highest of gifts is the giving of spiritual knowledge, and the next is the saving of life. The last is giving food and drink. He who gives spiritual knowledge saves the soul from many and many a birth. The desire to do good is the highest motive power we have. If we know all the time that it is a privilege to help others, do not stand on a high pedestal and take 5 cents in your hand and say, "Here, my poor man," but be grateful that the poor man is there, so that by making a gift to him, you are able to help yourself. It is not the receiver that is blessed, but it is the giver. Be thankful that you are allowed to exercise your power of benevolence and mercy in the world, and thus become pure and perfect. Call to the youth. Arise, awake, for your country needs this tremendous sacrifice. It is the young man that will do it. The young, the energetic, the strong, the well built, the intellectual, for them is the task. Lay down your comforts, your pleasure, your names, fame, or position, nay, even your lives, and may bridge of human chains over which millions will cross this ocean of life. I would rather see every one of you rank atheists than superstitious fools, for the atheist is alive and you can make something out of him. But if superstition enters, the brain is gone, the brain is softening, degradation has seized upon the life. My children must be ready to jump into fire. If needed, they accomplish their work. Now work, work, work. We will stop and compare notes later on. Have patience, perseverance, and purity. India wants the sacrifice of at least 1,000 of her young men, mind, and not brutes. 100,000 men and women fired with the zeal of holiness, fortified with eternal faith in the Lord, and never to lines courage by their sympathy for the poor and the fallen and the downtrodden will go over the length and breadth of the land, preaching the gospel of salvation, the gospel of help, the gospel of social rising up, the gospel of equality. My faith is in the younger generation, the modern generation. Out of them will come my workers. They will work out the old problem like lions. Men, men, these are wanted. Everything else will be ready. But strong, vigorous, believing young men, sincere to the backbone, are wanted. 100 such and the world becomes revolutionized. We are destined by the Lord to do great things in India. Be strong, my young friends. That is my advice to you. You will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of the Gita. These are bold words, but I have to say them for I love you. I know where the shoe pinches. I have gained a little experience. You will understand the Gita better with your biceps, your muscles a little stronger. Go from village to village to do good to humanity and to the world at large. Go to hell yourself to buy salvation for others. It is only by doing good to others that one attains one's own good. And it is by leading others to bhakti and mukti that one attains them oneself. Take that up. Forget your own self for it. Be mad over the idea. All great undertakings are achieved through mighty obstacles. Where are the men who are ready to sacrifice everything?
so that this message shall reach every corner of the world. Such heroic souls are wanted to help the spread of truth. Such heroic workers are wanted to go abroad and help to disseminate the great truths of the Vedanta. The world wants it. Without it, the world will be destroyed. The whole of the Western world is on a volcano which may burst tomorrow, go to pieces tomorrow. They have drunk deep of the cup of pleasure and found it vanity. Now is the time to work so that India's spiritual ideas may penetrate deep into the West. Up, India, and conquer the world by your spirituality. Eternal India. Shall India die? Then, from the world, all spirituality will be extinct, all moral perfection will be extinct, all sweet soul sympathy for religion will be extinct, all ideality will be extinct, and in its place will resign the duality of lust and luxury as the male and female deities, with money as its priest, fraud, force, and competition, its ceremonies, and the human soul its sacrifice. Such a thing can never be. If there is any land on this earth that can lay claim to be the blessed Punya Bhumi, to be the land to which all souls on this earth must come to account for karma, the land to which every soul that is wending its way Godward must come to attain its last home, the land where humanity has attained its highest towards gentleness, towards generosity, towards purity, towards calmness, above all, the land of introspection and of spirituality. It is India. I was asked by an English friend on the eve of my departure, Swami, how do you like now your motherland after 4 years' experience of the luxurious, glorious, powerful West? I could only answer, India. I loved before I came away. Now the very dust of India has become holy to me. The very air is now to me holy. It is now the holy land, the place of pilgrimage, the Tirtha. The longest night seems to be passing away. The sorest trouble seems to be coming to an end at last. The seeming corpse appears to be awakening. She is awakening, this motherland of ours, from her deep, long sleep. None can resist her anymore. Never is she going to sleep anymore. No outward powers can hold her back anymore, for the infinite gain is rising to her feet. O India, forget not that the idol of the womanhood is Sita, Savitri, Damayanti. Forget not that the god thou worshippest is the great ascetic of ascetics, the all renouncing Shankara, the lord of Uma. Forget not that thy marriage, thy wealth, thy life, or and nor for sense pleasure, are not for thy individual personal happiness. Forget not that thou art born as a sacrifice to the mother's altar. Forget not that the lower classes, the ignorant, the poor, the illiterate, the cobbler, the sweeper are thy flesh and blood. So long as the millions live in hunger and ignorance, I hold every man a traitor who, having been educated at their expense, pays not the least heed to them. The tidal wave of Western civilization is now rushing over the length and breadth of the country. It won't do now simply to sit in meditation on mountain tops without realizing in the least its usefulness. Now is wanted intense karma yoga with unbounded courage and indomitable strength in the heart. Then only will the people of the country be roused. The national idols of India are renunciation and service. Intensify her in those channels, and the rest will take care of itself. Our lifeblood is spirituality. If it flows clear, if it flows strong and pure and vigorous, everything is right. Political, social, any other material defects, even the poverty of the land, will all be cured if that blood is pure. But Mark you, if you give up that spirituality, leaving it aside to go after the materializing civilization of the West, the result will be that in 3 generations you will be an extinct race because the backbone of the nation will be broken. The foundation upon which the national edifice has been built will be undermined, and the result will be annihilation all round. In India, it is religion that forms the very core of the national heart. It is the backbone, the bedrock, the foundation upon which the national edifice has been built. Politics, power, and even intellect form a secondary consideration here. One vision I see clear as life before me, that the ancient mother has awakened once more, sitting on her throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than ever, proclaim her to all the world with a voice of peace and benediction. India will be risen, not with the power of the flesh, but with the power of the spirit, not with the flag of destruction, but with the flag of peace and love. Let us all work hard, my brethren. This is no time for sleep. On our work depends the coming of the India of the future. She is there ready waiting. She is only sleeping. Arise and awake and see her seated here on her eternal throne, rejuvenated, more glorious than she ever was. This motherland of ours, this national ship of ours, a children of the immortals, my countryman has been plying for ages, carrying civilization and enriching the whole world with its inestimable treasures. For sources of shining centuries, this national ship of ours has been ferrying across the ocean of life and has taken millions of souls to the other shore beyond all mystery. But today, it may have sprung a leak and got damaged. Through your own fault or whatever cause, it's matter not. What would you, who have placed yourselves in it, do now? How you go about cursing it and quarreling among yourselves? Would you not all unite together and put your best efforts to stop the holes? Let us all gladly give our hearts blood to do this. And if we fail in the attempt, let us all sink and die together with blessings and not curses on our lips. India has to learn from Europe the conquest of external nature, and Europe has to learn from India the conquest of internal nature. Then there will be neither Hindus nor Europeans. There will be the ideal humanity which has conquered both the natures, the external and the internal. We have developed one phase of humanity and the another. It is the union of the two that is wanted. The word freedom, which is the watchword of our religion, really means freedom physically, mentally, and spiritually. Universal religion. The truths of the Upanishads are before you. Take them up, live up to them, and the salvation of India will be at hand. My children, the secret of religion lies not in theories but in practice. To be good and to do good, that is the whole of religion. I do not believe in a god or religion which cannot wipe the widow's tears or bring a piece of bread to the orphan's mouth. Religion is a manifestation of the natural strength that is in man. Religion is the idea which is raising the brute unto man and man unto God. In studying books, we are sometimes deluded into thinking that thereby we are being spiritually helped, but if we analyze ourselves, we shall find that only our intellect has been helped and not the spirit. It is very good to be born in a church, but it is very bad to die in a church. It is very good to be born within the limits of certain forms that help the little plant of spirituality. But if a man dies within the bounds of these forms, it shows that he has not grown, that there has been no development of the soul. If the parliament of religions has shown anything to the world, it is this. It has proved to the world that holiness, purity, and charity are not the exclusive possessions of any church in the world, and that every system has produced men and women of the most exalted character. In the face of this evidence, if anybody dreams of the exclusive survival of his own religion and the destruction of the others, I pity him from the bottom of my heart and point out to him that upon the banner of every religion will soon be written, in spite of resistance, help and not fight, assimilation and not destruction, harmony and peace and not dissension. We want to lead mankind to the place where there is neither the Vedas nor the Bible nor the Quran. Yet this has to be done by harmonizing the Vedas, the Bible, and the Quran. Mankind ought to be taught that religions are but the varied expressions of the religion, which is oneness, so that each may choose that path that suits him best. Sri Ramakrishna. Without studying Ramakrishna Paramahamsa first, one can never understand the real import of the Vedas, the Vedanta of the Bhagavad Gita, of the Bhagavata, and the other Puranas. His life is a searchlight of infinite power thrown upon the whole mass of Indian religious thought. He was a living commentary to the Vedas and to their aim. He had lived in one life the whole cycle of the national religious existence in India. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is the latest and the most perfect, the concentrated embodiment of knowledge, love, renunciation, Catholicity, and the desire to serve mankind. So, where is anyone to compare with him? He must have been born in vain who cannot appreciate him. My supreme good fortune is that I am his servant through life after life. A single word of his is to me far greater than the Vedas and the Vedanta. India has suffered long, the religion eternal has suffered long, but the Lord is merciful. Once more, He has come to help His children. Once more, the opportunity is given to rise to fallen India. India can only rise by sitting at the feet of Sri Ramakrishna. His life and his teachings are to be spread far and wide, are to be made to penetrate every pore of Hindu society. This is the message of Sri Ramakrishna to the modern world. Do not care for doctrines, do not care for dogmas or sects or churches or temples. They count for little compared with the essence of existence in each man, which is spirituality, and the more that this is developed in a man, the more powerful is he for good. Earn that first, acquire that, and criticize no one. For all doctrines and creeds have some good in them. Show by your lives that religion does not mean words or names or sects, but that it means spiritual realization. Therefore, my master's message to mankind is be spiritual and realize truth for yourself. Sri Sharada Devi, Mother has been born to revive that wonderful Shakti in India and making her the nucleus. Once more will Gargis and Maitreya be born into the world. Of Ramakrishna you may ever, by my brother, that he was an incarnation or whatever else you may like, but fie on him who has no devotion for the mother. I am coming to understand things clearer every day. My insight is opening out more and more. To me, mother's grace is 100,000 times more valuable than father's. Mother's grace, mother's blessings are all paramount to me. Please pardon me, I am a little bigoted there as regards mother. If but mother orders, her demons can work anything. Brother, before proceeding to America, I wrote to mother to bless me. Her blessings came, and at one bound I cleared the ocean. Other exhortations. Disease and misfortune come to do us good in the long run. Although at the time we feel that we are submerged forever, the more we grow in love and virtue and holiness, the more we see love and virtue and holiness outside. All condemnation of others really condemns ourselves. It's just a microcosm which is in your power to do. and the macrocosm will adjust itself for you. It may be that I shall find it good to get outside of my body, to cast it off like a disused garment. But I shall not cease to work. I shall inspire men everywhere until the world shall know that it is one with God. Many feel, but only a few can express. It is the power of expressing one's love and appreciation and sympathy for others that enables one person to succeed better in spreading the idea than others. When there is conflict between the heart and the brain, let the heart to be followed. It is the heart which takes one to the highest plane, which intellect can never reach. It goes beyond intellect and reaches to what is called inspiration. Always cultivate the heart. Through the heart, the Lord speaks, and through the intellect, you yourself speak. Avoid not and seek not. Wait what the Lord sends. My boy, when death is inevitable, it is not better to die like heroes than as stocks and stones. And what is the use of living a day to, or what is the use of living a day or two more in this transitory world? It is better to wear out than to rust out, especially for the sake of doing the least good to others. Unselfishness is God. One may live on a throne in a golden palace and be perfectly unselfish, and then he is in God. Another may live in a hut and wear rags and have nothing in the world. Yet, if he is selfish, he is intensely measured in the world. Isn't it man that makes money? Where did you ever hear of money making man? If you can make your thoughts and words perfectly at one, if you can, I say, make yourself one in speech and action, money will pour in at your feet of itself like water. Work unto death. I am with you, and when I am gone, my spirit will work with you. This life comes and goes, wealth, fame, enjoyments are only of a few days. It is better, far better to die on the field of duty, preaching the truth, than to die like a worldly worm advance. Sa Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bunastu, Saha Viryakarvavahai, Tejasmina Vaditamastu, Mavi Dvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the divine protect us both, the teacher and the student. May he nourish us both. May we work together with great energy. May our study be vigorous and fruitful. May we not hate each other. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Om Astoma Sadgamaya. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Mrutyorma Amrutagamay. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. From the unreal lead me to the real. From darkness lead me to light. From death lead me to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace. स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्थपिनो अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः. Om. Om Ramakrishna, founder of religion, universal and the embodiment of all world religions. To thee, the noblest of divine incarnations, I offer my salvation. Om Janani Sharda Devi, Ramakrishna Jagadgurum, Padapanhe Tayo Shritva, Pranamami Muhur. Om. Taking shelter at the feet of Sharda, the universal mother, and Ramakrishna, the teacher of the world, I salute them again and again. Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Sre Sachit. Sorry for my Hindi. Sachit Kuka Swaran Swarabhaya Swamini Taparhina. Om, salvation to that king of renounces and controller of passions, the sage Vivekananda, who is Sachidananda, existence, knowledge, and bliss absolute, itself the spiritual preceptor, the remover of distress. Om Sarva Om Sarva Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarva Santu Niramayaha, Sarva Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kashridadru Kabhaga Bhavet. Om, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. Thank you, and sorry for the mistakes which I did. My only idea is to share the knowledge to you all. Thank you.